telescopic crane might be a better solution. Telescopic cranes can support loads of up to 6 tons and lift objects over 30 feet in the air. The steel cable or wire rope winds and unwinds on a hydraulic winch. The crane operator can extend or retract the boom extensions and adjust the angle of the main boom. Stowing the crane in the travel position takes just a few minutes. Assembly begins when a carbon steel sheet is loaded into a CNC laser cutter. A high-energy light beam cuts through the steel plate to make several parts of the crane assembly. A computer program maximizes the number of pieces cut out of a single sheet of steel. A welder places parts on a position fixture. Then a CNC weld robot bonds the side plates to the winch-mounted plate and base plate. The welded crane mast goes to the machining center. A machinist positions it on the horizontal mill jig. The CNC mill drills holes around the base plate with a carbide drill bit and sprays coolant to prevent the piece from overheating. Then the machine levels the surface under the base plate with an end mill to fit it to the crane mast bearing. Another worker bends tubes with a hydraulic press brake. He makes boom segments by forming high-strength carbon steel plates into open C-shapes. Grounded electrostatic paint racks carry the parts into the painting department. A worker applies a coating of anti-rust, low-friction electrostatic paint. The paint eases the movement of the crane parts. As the boom extensions come out of the paint shop, the painted mast is ready to go to the assembly department. A worker positions the mast on the base bearing assembly. He attaches the mast to the bearing with high-strength steel bolts and uses a pneumatic torque wrench to tighten the bolts. These bolts bear most of the load of the crane. A worker positions the winch on the mount plate and tightens the bolts. He rotates the mast to check its movement on the base bearing. He inserts a bushing and fits it with an arbor. He applies lubricant inside the bushing before he brings in the main cylinder. The worker positions the cylinder between the side plates and pins it to the mast. The pin allows the cylinder to move vertically when elevating the boom. Hydraulic actuators are now installed inside the mast. The actuators direct oil flow to the cylinders and motors, controlling the movement of the crane. A worker installs the boom extensions into the main boom. He pushes them all the way in before assembling the main boom to the crane base. The main boom fits right between the mast side plates. Workers insert a pin to connect the mast to the main boom. They gently tap it in place with a soft mallet and bolt it on with a pneumatic wrench. A worker threads the wire rope along the boom and around the top pulley, then pulls the cable down and runs it through the snatch block. He closes a safety pin on the snatch block and pins the eye of the cable under the top pulley. Another worker activates the winch motor to roll the cable in. The main cylinder elevates the crane into operating position. The extension cylinder extends the boom, and stabilizers support the back of the truck for safe operation of the crane.